Hi, everybody. I'm Alicia Jackson, licensed professional counselor, here with episode 2 of The Best Shape of My Life, which is a docuseries by Will Smith. And it is dictating showing his weight loss journey and his book process that he's given himself this very lofty goal of getting his book done in 21 weeks. And so now we're in week 20, and this episode starts in week 20, as he has just rebound from a failure, as he labeled it, of gaining a pound. And some interesting things come about in this episode. This is probably one of my favorites episodes thus far. Because the walls come tumbling down. All right, so let's get into it. But first, of course, subscribe, like, share, comment. It's a conversation. I want to hear from you, all that jazz. But let's get into it. Because again, he's showing us some really, really good stuff. Okay, and so he starts with this picture and really this analogy that his father gave him. I don't know where this wall came from, why they were building a wall, or what was happening, but his father had him and his brother build a wall, and they were very little. So they're like, "Dad, how can we build a wall?" And it's like, "Don't y'all worry about no wall, just one brick at a time." And so that's what he was telling himself as he's going into this week's fitness journey and trying to make up for lost time. That's really what it sounds like he's trying to do, and we see more of that as it keeps going. But he's trying to write his chapters. He's got 2 weeks. He's got 22 pounds to lose, and then 15 chapters to write. And so he starts the week at 222. And his trainer is concerned because he knows Will, and he's like, I know there's going to be a response to this weight gain, and you see it. Like he's pushing himself, very hard through his workouts. And his therapist noted that, Will derives his sense of self, she said, from succeeding and being well liked. And I was like, whew, that was a statement. And I think, that comes a part of his upbringing in like the picture of the wall, that whole imagery of building that wall, meeting success, reaching a goal, meaning my dad's proud of me. I reached my goal. There's nothing I can't do, and so there's some great things that come out of that. But there's some shadow sides. I think with all of it, I think sometimes we, even us therapists, tend to over analyze things. Everything that happens to us through our childhood and through our life can be meaningful, and and there's some harm that comes out of it too. And so we have to, in our adulthood, find balance and find a centered view of appreciating. And that's really what I see Will doing, appreciating the hard work that his father pushed through him, and now trying to find some balance. He is struggling to find balance through this episode. Struggling, okay? Having that sense of self, and he talked about his father, his sense of self being derived by succeeding and being well liked. His father has this military background, and he's using this military background to help provide structure in his home as a father. And of course, I have to mention, his father is a black male, and so being that as it may, black men have a very, very unique experience in this country, being probably one of the most hated people in this country, and most feared human beings in this country. And so he's pushing his 2 black sons to be great, to reach goals as a way of surviving this world. That's truly what it is. And so he's teaching them this to survive, because he knows that that's what they're going to need to survive this world, to be able to navigate this world that hates them, right? And so really what it is love. As a child, I'm sure it didn't feel loving to Will Smith. and his brother. And probably to his mother too, because I could see her even trying to protect them, as most moms do. But his father had a goal of making sure they succeed. And so he said, Will Smith said to, through the video, that his dad had any mission had to either be accomplished or you died. And I said, whoa, those are two big extremes, right? Two really big extremes. But oftentimes in our system, I'm going to use IFS language because I really want, I'm an IFSer, so I'm going to use IFS language. IFS, Internal Family Systems. Again, if you have not watched my video on internal family systems, go check it out. But anyway, so his system is really trying to is torn between this success or failure. Like, success and failure is something, if I don't succeed in one, in all of the things, then it's a complete failure, which is not reality. So Will is still pretty, like, very black and white, and we see this through the episode. Okay, so he is grinding through they have the episodes like Monday he's working out, Tuesday he's working out, Wednesday he's working out, and then he misses a workout on Saturday. Sunday he talks about being low energy, and then he starts telling some truths because his trainer sitting down with him. He's like, so talk to me about this reaction to this weight gain. Like, what was this like? How did you experience this? And he's like, well, there was like a 2-day reaction to this weight gain, 1 pound weight gain. He fasted for 2 days, which he said all he ate was boiled eggs and fresh vegetables, not cooked vegetables, and he fasted for 14 hours. Now he's using this language of fasting really as a clinician, especially someone who's worked with individuals who have eating disorders. It really sounds like some very, like, restrictive eating, very almost anorexic like, it mirrors that a lot. So I was really concerned when he was talking about how much he is not eating. But he then they go to the boot camp where he is talking about how he disciplines himself. And especially in weight, he noticed that when people come back from the holidays, everybody's plumper. And he's like, I'm going to use this as an edge. He's very competitive because I have to win, right? So he's using this as an edge to put him above the rest, and abstaining from Christmas dinner, working more discipline to create more discipline that's going to help him to succeed, to help keep him safe, to help protect him, to help him feel successful and feel like he is doing the best, like he's getting that internal reward, right, from doing that. Okay, and so more questions are being asked of Will about this fasting, and then more honesty comes out. Willard, I heard Jada a lot during this episode saying Willard, because before this whole situation even started, he fasted for a week and lost 5 pounds in a week, which makes sense, while he gained 1 pound the next week. And so what they tried to do, which I'm so grateful, is they brought in some nutritionists to help him eat healthy foods, eat things. And he said he's done these things in the past and it's helped him, but he is also in his 50s and he needs to, and no matter what age we're in, first of all, we need to eat. We need to eat. Our bodies needs fuel. Our bodies need fuel, like Willard. So I was grateful that they brought in nutritionists to help him get on the right path, because his fasting was not it. Okay. But you can definitely see that goals are everything for Will. Goals are everything for Will, and his therapist again talks about that, and she feels like this was definitely derived from his childhood. And we kind of talked about that, like the baby boomer generation, their first generation, really first or second generation removed from slavery, and so they are trying to survive in these very, very difficult times, and the only way to survive is to obtain money, is to obtain success, is to obtain and comply. And that is what Will's father is teaching him to reach these goals, reach success. If you do this, if you have your own, if you do this, then nobody can take anything from you. Okay. And so week 2 weigh in, he loses his pound, well, 1.4 pounds, and then goes to Dubai. He goes to Dubai. He talks about how Dubai is his happy place. First, he talks about, one, he feels like a one with Dubai because the tallest building is there, and if you're going to create a building, then you must create the tallest building, which is very much like Will Smith, to reach the highest, be the highest at all times, right, Willard? And also that it's 12 hours, time zone wise away, so that he can be detached. There's no distractions. He can be focused on the book, be focused on the workout. So week 3, he starts successfully, right? He's wrote a chapter and he's lost a pound. So he has 20 pounds to lose and 14 chapters to write. Willard. Okay, so then he starts out talking about DJ Jazzy Jeff. I actually love this chapter that he was reading, and of course we don't get like a little excerpt of it because he wants us to buy the book, right? But he talked about how he fell in love with DJ Jazzy Jeff's work ethic, and how he was practicing DJing for 14 to 16 hours a day. He didn't do anything else. And as DJ Jazzy Jeff is hearing this, he's smiling, which I thought was an amazing reaction. He wasn't like, oh, yeah, that was me. He was smiling. It's like he got a sense of pride from it, and it seemed like young Willard really found respect in Jazzy Jeff and in a camaraderie because of their high sense of work ethic. Like that was the fuel that fired the creativity to build their connection and to help them reach their goal and success of being the first rap duo to gain a Grammy. So like that is that's an atonement, right? And that's just reinforcing this very high work ethic that that does come from truly being pushed to success. It's truly really a staple and almost a foundation in some African American families to survive. We're talking about survival, right? So week 3, he weighs in, loses 2 pounds, and he's feeling himself. He's like, yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, 2 pounds. I'm like, oh Lord. But then he talks about being carb depleted and falling out during a workout, and I'm just like, well, he's like, he's trying to balance what he's eating, and then the next scene, like the very next scene, is him climbing the stairs of the tallest building of the world, 160 flights of stairs. So, okay, Will. So he's doing this. He's talking about how, again, he's talking to himself. You hear the voiceover of the limitless persistence that his father built within him with building the brick wall and seeing the brick wall after him and his brother, persisted through their frustrations and their tiredness and their emotions and their moods, all of that, to be successful. That has helped him to keep doing the same in his life and in his career. And using this as an example of climbing 160 flights of stairs. And then Will gets to the top of the building and says, oh, but we didn't reach the very top because there's this tower And so now we have to climb the building, because if I don't reach the very top, then then um then I didn't reach my goal. And I thought this was very, very poignant that his therapist called him out on this. That when you succeed so early in life at the level that he did, you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing more and more and more. And there has to be a time when we are content. Like, we are content with who we are and what we've accomplished. Again, I feel like there are some great sides to Will having this drive, having this push to do more, to be the best, to be the best self that he can be. I also feel like a lot of his though fight to be the best is definitely competitive, as he was talking about seeing other people gain weight during the holiday and how he's gonna be one step of the best, be, and using this as to be above them and to be ahead of them. That there's definitely some competition between him and other people, and truly we are our own competition. If we start competing against other people, that's when we are doing a disservice to ourselves and to them. And so I'm hoping that Will can find some balance in here, so that he can know that he doesn't have to compete and be the best, as long as he's being his best self. And I think that that is just his, again, what he talked about, his father's, upbringing and pushing him and pushing him, and then him getting rewards from that and saying, oh, but if I keep pushing myself, won't there be something else? Won't there be another? Who knows what I can't obtain if I just keep pushing, if I just keep pushing. And sometimes we have to be just secure in who we are, and hoping and wishing that for him. Well, let's stay tuned for the next episode of The Best Shape of My Life. And as Will is giving us some great jewels and some great things for us to learn from. And so we can find some ways to be content with ourselves and stop comparing ourselves to other people. Because we're all running an individual race on a different track. Everybody's track is different. And so stay tuned. And of course, subscribe. See you next time.